First off, I would like to start off just by sending our thoughts and prayers and condolences to the tragedy that really took place down there in Charlottesville at UVA, and to their university, to the football family. I know Coach Elliott a little bit, and we're going to have messaging from our own program, and just want them to know that we're with them, and we're thinking of them in this really, really hard time. Again, thank you for the media that's out here today with us. Thanks for coming out here to see us and being with us and covering us and everything that you provide for us. And, obviously we're coming off of, for us, a disappointing loss on the road, tough loss on the road against Central Michigan. It seems like it was a week ago, it was a while ago, and really we've transitioned since. And a lot of lessons for us to learn from coming off the road. And obviously the disappointment for us at that time was very real. But I'd like to also, mention that, I'm really proud of this football team, and I'm really proud of the group of guys that we have in the locker room, and the maturity and the toughness that they've shown, and we're getting ready for our fourth home game coming back home in the last, I think, 11 or 12 weeks, and our guys have, they've been battle tested on the road and playing, coming back late and doing all the things that some of those action games kind of entail, and we're excited and we're energized for what's in front of us. We're excited about the opportunity to compete one more time on Saturday, and hopefully potentially, if we do things the right way, hit that threshold of becoming bowl eligible. I think we've been to 5 bowl games in the last 50 years here as a program, and I think that becoming bowl eligible and getting ourselves into postseason play is something to be celebrated, is something to be recognized, and we're looking forward to putting our best foot forward to getting that done. And obviously we're going to have to play our best football coming down the stretch here. We have a very talented team in Akron coming into our stadium. They have skilled players, multiple transfers from Power 5 schools, and a lot of great skilled players on the outside. Running back came over from Minnesota. Quarterback playing very well. He's a transfer, and he's a very talented individual. And I think Coach Moorhead and their staff do an outstanding job offensively of attacking you multiple ways. It's a really clean scheme. They have a very clear plan from week to week on how they try to attack you and what they want to do. And I think defensively they play hard. I think the record's deceiving. I do. I think the record for them is very deceiving. They've had a few one-score games where the ball could have bounced in any way, and they came up on the short side of things, and we know that we're going to have to put our best foot forward, prepare ourselves the best, have a great week of work. We're off to a great start today with our Tuesday practice, and we're looking forward to getting back on the field tomorrow, continuing with the game plan, putting things together, put our best foot forward to push ourselves forward from where we are right now.
You had almost a week to go over the Central Michigan loss. What were some of the breakdowns, and what do you need to shore up in preparation for Akron, another shot at becoming a bowl?
Yeah, I think some of the things very evident. Obviously, I felt like we were. It's very clear that we were ready to play the game. The way we started the game, the way we controlled the game over the first half, and going into the halftime 24-7, I thought we did an outstanding job of keeping them off balance, and had a very healthy dose of run and pass, and we mixed it up very well. And then we had some breakdowns in the second half. There's a couple calls I wish I had back, and then there's also, you got the long run from the quarterback, which was the most evident thing. I think, how well we did in the first half made Central kind of go to their backup quarterback and do some things that they hadn't shown consistently on film, and then we got to answer back in those situations. So a lot of healthy lessons for us to learn. The good thing for us is that we've responded all year. The one thing I'm very confident in our group about is that we've been through our own set of adversity. I think everybody said that our season was over when we started off 0-3, and I think everybody kind of turned the page on us then. All we did was win 5 in a row, and then we've battled every single week. So we've been on the road. We've played a lot of challenging tests on the road, and we're looking forward to getting back home. We haven't been home in a long time, and we're looking forward to getting back here in front of our fans, in front of our family, and like I said, put our best foot forward to push our program forward and to do something that really hasn't been done consistently here in a very, very long time, over long stretches of time, and that's getting the postseason. So we're looking forward to hitting that threshold, taking that next right step. I think it's something to be recognized, and it's something to be accomplished. And I'm not going to short side or there's a lot of guys that have put in a lot of work in our program to get us to this point, and we're excited about where we are. We know we got to just continue to get better, continue to play better football, protect the ball, and attack the ball on the other side, play clean on all 3 phases of the game, and get ready to go play.
Has that been the the emphasis of your discussions with the team about the bowl eligibility? Is that nice to be able to, despite a couple losses in a row, to be able to spin back to that and that prize that's still available?
Well, I remember in 2013 when we were sitting here when I was an assistant coach and we got on I think a 5 or 6 game win streak, and I remember we were in the locker room, and I think we had beat Kent State on the road at the time, and there was Stephen Means in the locker room, there was Khalil Mack in the locker room, we had Joe Licata, we had Brandon Oliver playing running back, and I remember the feeling that we had when we actually got to win number 6. I mean, you would have thought that for us at the time, I think it was the second bowl game or second bowl eligibility, or however you want to look at it, being bowl eligible for the second or third time in program history. I think Khalil Mack picked me up, twirled me in a circle. He had no shirt on and picked me up. He twirled in a circle. I mean, guys were high-fiving. I mean, it was something to be celebrated. It's a fun accomplishment to achieve. It's a threshold. It's something that you want to be able to do regularly year in and year out. But we also are not going to diminish the hard work that a lot of guys and a lot of coaches and a lot of people have put in to get us to this point, to be having these kind of conversations, to potentially get yourself in the postseason. Playing college football is hard, and playing Division I football and all the things that go into it. We want to recognize the work and the effort of a lot of people that have put in a lot of work over the last 11 months. We have had guys that have been returning guys like James Patterson and Sean Dolek. We also have guys that have come from other places that have all come together as one family, and everybody collectively has built us up to this point right now. So we're excited about the opportunity for those things to be true. We still have work in front of us to get those things done and earn them. And then whatever those things mean after that is whatever they mean. I think from a mathematical standpoint, those things we're still in play to get ourselves to Detroit. What we have to do is just control our controllables and just take one day and one step at a time. And for us, that was taking care of today's practice. I thought our guys did a really, really good job of doing that. We're going to build on to Wednesday's practice and then take it one step at a time from there. And we will be an energized, excited team ready to play on Saturday.
This is your team's third opportunity in 3 weeks to get that 6th win. How do you kind of keep the team centered, not have them look too far ahead, not have them look back at the time?
Yeah, I think we've stayed in the moment the entire time all year, Rachel. I think our team has never looked too far ahead or too far back, and if we would have, honestly, we wouldn't be where we are right now. We could have said, we were 0-3, and we could have said the season's over. There's no way you're going to ever come back from 0-3. Throw your hands up in the air. Who cares about what you did in the spring and then the summer and all the work in training camp? But this team showed so much resolve, and instead of compromising ourselves, we stayed committed. And it's a season for a reason. Every season's going to have its own sets of ups and downs and adversity. Just like we've had close losses, we've had some close wins. We've had we've gone through so many things and so many great lessons for us to learn. And I think that because of the hard that we've pushed through all year, because of the successes and because of the lessons we've learned, we got a very poised and mature locker room. We were very clearly pointed out things on film as one team that we wanted to do differently in the moment. I feel very confident that we'll learn from those situations and then we'll respond the right way.
You're gonna honor your seniors before this game.
Yep.
It's an interesting group of guys like James that have played 50-plus games here, and then there's guys that have played 10 games here. Reflect a little bit on the senior class and what they've meant to you.
Well, you got a guy like Robbie Mangus, who I think is he would probably tell you individually he's a proud Dartmouth grad. But we had a team meeting today and we talked about Senior Day and we talked about what that means and just to kind of put it into one summary. Robbie walked out of the meeting and said, Coach, I'm a bull. And I just think there's a level of appreciation that maybe because of the advent of the portal and how roster management has gone and how players are now kind of more transient and they're coming from different places. We have guys that for their own individual reasons all chose to stay or all chose to come back here or come here from another university in some cases, and they all see themselves as UB Bulls. And I think that's the real thing that matters. Some guys like James Patterson played 50 some odd games. games. Some guys like Robbie Mangus and maybe Justin Marshall are going to be playing in 13 or 14 games. You got a guy like Keon Williams who's going to be in the double-digit category of games here. And I think that the thing that we've been able to create is a real connection, a real family atmosphere. I think you're going to see guys that whether it was 1 year or 5 years that they've spent here or 6 years, or Gio, I think this is his 7th year, there's a connection for them to come back to. And there's a family and the tradition of the program and their legacy and what they've done in the program. They feel a real connection to that has really grown over time. I think all these things kind of take time, and for like a guy like Robbie to say that on the way out of the team meeting, hey, I'm a Bull. I think it struck a chord with him, and it means something to him. Although he didn't spend as much time as some of the other guys, it still matters to him, and I think that's why you see this team fight and play the way they do. They got a ton of resolve. They got a ton of commitment for one another, and it's something I think to be recognized.
One of your things, Alex Dalton, the semifinalist for the Lou Groza Award as the country's top kicker. How important is he to this team, and how has he grown this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a year and maybe a month ago when Alex, I think we were on the road at Kent State, and we had kind of a chip shot field goal, and Alex missed that field goal. And I don't think he's really turned back ever since that moment. We talk about responding in our program. You look at Alex last year, he knocks in a field goal at the end of regulation. We beat Ohio. We're in overtime. Well, he hits the field goal, I think 50-some-odd yard field goal against Northern Illinois to send us into overtime last year. And I don't know if there's anybody really kicking the ball better than him. Maybe some as good. I don't know if anybody's kicking the ball better than him as a college kicker this year. He's reliable. He's dependable. He's confident. He goes out there as if he knows he's going to make it. He doesn't hope he's going to make it. We had zero hesitation in that 55-yard field goal, whatever it was, last week against Central Michigan. He trotted himself out there against the wind, knocked it in to send us to give us a tie ball game in the fourth quarter, and get us up in the fourth quarter. And I just think he's so reliable, and we've leaned on him and his leg and his ability to really put points on the board, and he's done a fantastic job for us.
Are you watching as many weather reports as you are game tape right now?
You know what? I tell our players to control the controllables, so I'm kind of staying in that same realm. What I want to make sure is that we're prepared for whatever that weather is. So we're going to take advantage of every rule that's out there to make sure that, from whatever it is that we need to do to prepare our players, those guys will be prepared for the weather. Nothing like Buffalo football in November. So we're looking forward to whatever that weather is. And we've had some odd games, maybe some high temperature kind of games lately, and maybe it's a little bit payback for us. So we'll be ready for whatever that weather is, and our guys will be ready to go.
You've got 10 games of Akron to get a feel for what Joe Moorhead is doing there. Do you go back and look at what he's done at Oregon and other places that he's been a head coach to establish kind of an approach at all?
I think most, even as the head coach, I think, the core of Coach Moorhead, he's also the primary play caller. And so there is a history to pay attention to. When I was at Texas A&M, we faced Coach Moorhead when he was at Mississippi State as the head coach. Very dynamic passing attack, knows how to get the ball in the hands of the playmakers, stretches the field horizontally and vertically, and you see a full menu of kind of concepts and schemes and plays. So I think that's one of the main reasons why they've been able to stay in games. I think from a schematic standpoint, he does an outstanding job. We pride ourselves on making sure we kind of turn over every stone, just like I'm sure they're doing against us, to continue to put who the actual DNA and the thumbprint of that team is. Obviously, there's a good heavy set of film out there from this year, but you want to pay attention to not only the current statistics, but the recent trends, and then the big picture of who a guy's been over the history of how he's called plays.
What's the last snow game you coached in?
Oh my goodness, that's an outstanding question. You got me on that, Rich. We finished against 2020. We were in Dallas. We finished against the Giants in January. I don't think it was snowing. It was cold, but I don't think it was snowing. I gotta get back to you on the last snow game.
Probably a year.
It may have very well been. You're probably right on that. Not too many snow games in the SEC. Thanks, guys.